Welcome to MLG Weekly, a place where you can feel safe and bask in the glow of the earth-shattering nukes dropped by the Terran.
Another EMP, too.
Oh my God! It looks like this is gonna hit! And Nanowar being nuked!
In our latest edition, we've got the first sit-down interview with David Kim, Blizzard's balance designer. Also, GameBattles is back, where two teams fight to the death in our match of the week.
Did you see that? Create thought he was all cool with his fancy gun. Think again!
We've got a profile on Huck, MLG's only two-time SC2 event champion, as well as a brush-up on the top 5 European pros going into nationals. And it wouldn't be the weekly without your boy Nexy and a first look at a hot new release. All this and a whole lot more starts right now on MLG Weekly. This week, the top players in the world converged in London to take part in the European Gaming League's 4th event. The tournament featured a slew of titles including Call of Duty Black Ops, StarCraft 2, and Street Fighter 4. In Call of Duty, Team Fnatic beat Team Foreign in the Xbox 360 tournament, while Apex managed to take first place on the PlayStation 3. The Halo Reach tournament was taken by Team Dignitas, who took down Infused TT in the finals. The Grand Finals was a best-of-11 series, which Dignitas won 6-4. The Gears of War tournament came down to Team Apex and Team Imperial. Apex swept the finals with a flawless 6-0 over Imperial. The FIFA 12 competition was a worldwide affair, with 34 players coming out to compete for the title. From the truly international bracket that represented Germany, the UK, France, Ireland, and the Netherlands, the UK's Dignitas TY and Germany's Uprising Daniel made it to the finals. In the end, TY came out on top, winning the finals 4-1. The Mortal Kombat tournament was taken by Foxy Grandpa, who won the best-of-5 series against HD Helter 3-0. Foxy's only loss came from his first match of the tournament. From there, he waltzed through the rest of the bracket without a single defeat. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was taken by SYN Don D, who defeated Loser Kid in the best-of-5 finals. This series came down to a final game 5, which Don D won to take the first place finish. Belgian player Orly from Team Lowland Lions took the StarCraft 2 competition. He defeated 4 British players back-to-back for the win. Ryan Hart, another player from Lowland Lions, won both the Street Fighter Third Strike and the Street Fighter 4 tournaments. On his way to the winner's circle, Hart defeated Raju and Predrome to take the Third Strike title. In the Street Fighter 4 bracket, Hart earned a flawless victory by not dropping a single set on his way to winning the finals. With his win at the last regular season stop on the Major League Gaming Pro Circuit, Chris Huck Oranger became the first two-time MLG SC2 champion. His pinpoint decision-making and perfectly executed build orders took the field by storm, leaving a wake of busted mains and confused opponents. Whether you live in Korea, Europe, or North America, if you're a fan of SC2, chances are you know the name E.G. Huck. This 22-year-old Protoss-playing machine's rise to fame and fortune has been riddled with mixed feelings from the community about his place in the scene that prides itself so much on its history. Huck, unlike many of the very best SC2 players, never had a career as a pro gamer playing either Brood War or Warcraft 3. This fact leaves every opponent wondering how this 22-year-old Canadian Protoss upstart could have foiled their hypothesis for victory. Huck's rigid self-control and discipline are only part of why he's seen so much success in such a short time. His amazing unit microing and the opportunities he's had to play, compete, and train with the world's best gamers has rounded Huck's playstyle and character. One needs to look no further than his victories at the 2010 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit event in Raleigh, the 2011 DreamHack Summer, Home Story Cup, and then again at the 2011 MLG event in Orlando. Huck has achieved the unthinkable, emerging from a number of major events riddled with Korean competition brandishing the gold, showing spectators and pro players alike that the world of StarCraft 2 is by no means a Koreans-only club. Huck's most recent win at MLG Orlando set him up as the first player to ever win 2 MLG titles and as the first foreigner to win any event since the MLG GSL Player Exchange. Huck's more than solid showing in the recent GSL Code S may be a sign of things to come. A foreigner winning the GSL would definitely have an impact on how we look at pros playing and training for SC2. Huck arrives in Providence in second place just behind teammate and former rival EG Idra. He's got all of the makings of a champion, and in Providence, it's going to come down to whether he's mentally and physically prepared to compete and win, as he's done on so many other occasions. This week, we delve into the minds of Slasher, JP, and Puckett as they get to the bottom of what's on your mind. As always, we've had you, the community, send in your questions to us on Twitter. We got your questions. We're ready to answer them. Starting off with our first one from Sad Zealot, which, awesome name, by the way. He wants to know, what games do you want to see on the MLG Pro Circuit next year, just out of the love for the game?
So I think StarCraft 2 coming back probably a pretty good idea. I think that would, probably be a smart thing to do. Personally, I want to see Quake, of course. It has to be my second choice. I'm going to say it probably every single time on the show. I will be able to find one place to name drop it. And then third, I want Street Fighter.
I've actually been playing a little bit of Street Fighter on the PC lately, and I gotta say, I've watched tournaments before. I really want a fighting game on the MLG Pro Circuit. I've also been playing a ton of Battlefield 3, although I don't think that'll work on the Pro Circuit. Out of the love of the game, I want that to be on the Pro Circuit next year.
Do you guys have any new info on Modern Warfare 3 and the Pro Circuit? Don't say Modern Warfare 3 is on the Pro Circuit yet. Everything's up in the air when it comes to 2012. We don't know what games are going to be the best at the time, which communities are the largest, so we can't bank on that. At MLG Providence, in each game, who do you see in the finals? My real pick is going to be Instinct will be Infamous. That is my dream matchup. Infamous won our last event in Raleigh, defeating Instinct, coming all the way out of the loser bracket finals to defeat them.
I think to me that Optic has to be one of the teams in the finals. They've won. They're the only team to win 2 events. I feel like Fear has played real well, and so have the Quantic guys. I kind of want to see Hastro's Envious, though, go back to the finals and have that Optic versus Envy finals, which I think to me is a rivalry between those two.
Well, if it's Idra versus MVP or Idra versus ST, I'd be happy with that. This is going to be kind of the gauntlet where they're playing so many different people in such a short little time. And that's where I think a foreigner might actually take the tournament. Which foreigner that's going to be, Idra's probably a good person to choose from. Huck's probably a good person.
Or will you go on record to say that a foreigner will win this one?
I will not go on record and say that he will win this, or that a foreigner will win this, but they have a good chance.
Here in the Weekly, we like to give you, our loyal viewers, every opportunity to take out your frustrations from the grind that is your everyday life. One need not look any further to accomplish that goal than GameBattles.com. Each week they play host to our weekly tournament where you and your friends can fight to the death and for the chance to see your highlights right here on our show. In this week's installment, Define History and your old pals Zero Logic go postal on each other in the Game Battles Match of the Week.
Hey friends, it's Nexy yet again bringing you another Game Battles challenge. Let's do some Search and Destroy on Firing Range, my favorite. We got Defying History taking on the best team in the whole wide world. It's Zero Logic, the undisputed champions. And here we go, let's see what Czar has to do with it. Taking out Taze, nice work out of him. The bomb is down. Czar picks it up. He's starting to plant on the B bomb site. He's going to get it down. He's going to find a super sneaky hiding spot. But Create smells blood. Jumping around the corner with a silly looking gun. Nice work out of him. He's going to go defuse the bomb. Or is he taking cover, putting shots, jumping out? That gun looks silly. But Create uses it to perfection. Check out the instant replay there. Create with no fear, just jumps right out, gets flashed, doesn't care. And guess what he's going to do next? Defuse a bomb. Zero Logic, they're going to go up 1-0 so far. Moving along, it's round number 2. Let's start it off with Czar. He's checking the B bomb site, going to push up and catch Taze out of position. He moves to A, back to B, makes me dizzy. He's going to check the back car spot and 1, make it a 2-piece. Czar taking out 3 members of Zero Logic and putting his team on the board. Moving forward, tied game. I want to start it with Czar, the playmaker. He's going to pick up an easy kill there on Taze using the teamwork. I want to see the instant replay because we're fancy. That looked good. Moving forward, Sile, baby. This kid has sick reactions. Did you see that? Create thought he was all cool with his fancy gun. Think again. Sile's here, and he has better reactions than you. Creator, last man alive for Zero Logic. He cleans up the kill on Sile. Next, he has to watch out for the bomb guy. We got Czar planting the bomb behind the corner. Creator's too smart for that. Now he has to survive. The bomb is down. It's all up to him, but Braves thinks otherwise. He's gonna style a little bit. Dual Pythons to win the round. I want to see another instant replay. All right, let's move forward. It's 2-1 in favor of Defying History. And I told you about Sile's reactions. Check him out there, clearing out the trailer, but I've noticed this. Creator is always in position to help his team, so he's going to pick up the kill on Sile. Let's watch it all over again. Sile, fully stunned, picks up Creator now, he's going to wrap around and avenge his teammate. Sile's simply going to get taken down, and it's Creator's turn. He's going to plant the bomb, and you know what he does next? Nothing! He lays there, he gets all patient and stuff. But wait, who thinks he's a superhero? It's Braves, he gets taken out, Taze gets taken out, and Czar is the last man standing, so he's gonna defuse the bomb and put a point on for his team. All right, now it's 3-1 in favor of Defying History, and you know what? They're deciding to do a quick plant, Czar getting the bomb down, but I wanna jump on board with my friend over here, Sile. This round's so good, I'm gonna make sound effects. Pew, 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 I'm so good, duck, you're dead, Magnum. I'm gonna knife you. 4-1. Are you kidding me? This kid's a cheater. Check him out. Ducking, getting up, killing everybody, rubbing around the corner with the python, and ends it with the knife. Well, that was ridiculous, but it's 4-1. This could be the final round, and with his back against the wall, Create and Taze are charging the B bomb site. Yes, we're back to the B bomb site. Braves, he gets taken down, but look who's on guard. It's Czar chucking a grenade into the B bomb site, and Create, you don't stand a chance. Let's see what Sile's up to. Taking a guy out over here, nice work out of him, and he just teleported over to the Jeep. He gets the last kill of the game, and there you have it. Defying History are this week's champions.
In this MLG exclusive, Kyle McGee sits down with Blizzard's balance designer David Kim for his first one-on-one interview.
Hi, Kyle McGee here with Major League Gaming, sitting down with David Kim, the balance designer at Blizzard on StarCraft. David, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So yesterday in the multiplayer panel, which was fantastic by the way, you mentioned some racial imbalances in different regions around the world. For example, right now there's a little bit of a Terran imbalance in Korea. How does that affect how you balance the game when you see these small imbalances across regions?
It's actually a really difficult problem right now in Korea because we're only really seeing it at GSL specifically. In GSL, Terran is really dominating both other races, and you have we're seeing like really great numbers of Terran players compared to the other two races. But if we take a look at the ladder, the highest level of Korean ladder, Grandmaster and Master League, we're only really seeing Terran being really strong against Protoss, but not against Zerg. In the TVZ matchup, we're actually seeing 50-50 or close to it. So we're at this time trying to work closely with GSL to really figure out what the reasons are for these imbalances in that tournament, to really locate key issues that are there so that we can hopefully suggest better solutions or just make the tournament better overall.
So at the top level of play, one of the things those players may have available to them is this insane micro ability. We've seen a lot of unit splitting at the top, especially in Korea and now in North America. How does those abilities really separate those players, and how does that affect balance?
I think we can't really do anything about those micro specific stuff until they happen. So for example, the Marine spread is a good example, like you said. Before that happened, there was a lot of complaints from both community and pro players that banelings might be a little too powerful, but it was one of those examples where the pro players actually figured out a solution, so we didn't really have to nerf that unit. But I think it's more of a case-by-case basis that we have to really go by. So yeah, until those happen, until the players really master every single micro opportunity of their race, and I don't think they have done so yet, even on the Terran side.
So yesterday you guys announced a couple of units for Heart of the Swarm, as well as that some of the maybe fan favorites or not so much of fan favorites are going to be removed from the game. What goes behind a decision to remove a unit rather than try and fix it?
So there are some big factors that go into the decision making of cutting or removing units. So the first is obviously how much of it is used, right? So the carrier or the mothership, for example, aren't used very heavily in most games. And the second is, does that unit have a clear role in terms of strategy or in terms of counters? And the carrier, for example, doesn't really counter anything, and it doesn't really fulfill that siege role because Colossi are probably the better unit to go if you want that siege range unit. And finally, we do try to keep the numbers of units per race to a certain size, because if you have too many units, say like you had 30 units on the Protoss side, and if you're a Terran player fighting against Protoss, you never know what's coming because there's just so many choices. So we do keep those three things in mind when trying to remove units, and although it's not the final decision that we're making, we are trying this route of trying to introduce a better, more strategically viable unit rather than keeping the carrier or the mothership.
Okay. So in a StarCraft battle, players typically have two unit types to deal with. They have their damage dealers, you know, Marines and tanks and that sort, and you have your spellcasters. What goes into balancing those types of units? Which one is more easy to work with on the balance team?
I'd say casters if I had to make a choice, because there's a lot of core units into the game that's really difficult to touch. So for example, say we were to nerf Marines by 10%. We can't even imagine what the results will be because it's used in so many different situations, whereas casters are a little more specific than that. So for example, Ghosts against Protoss use Snipe against casters, EMP against the army. So it's very specific in role, and because it doesn't, if we were to touch, say like Snipe, it won't really affect too many other things other than sniping casters. It's actually an easier fix to make because because it's not dealing with so many different situations.
All right, well, David, thank you for joining us. I think that's all we have for you today. Guys, for more BlizzCon coverage, check out MajorLeagueGaming.com.
As we push ever closer to the National Championships in Providence, here's a quick brush up on the top 5 European StarCraft 2 pros that will battle North American Masters Idra, Huck, and a star-studded Korean force for the national title. Coming in at number 5, we've got German pro Dario TLO the Little One Wunsch, who plays Terran for Team Liquid. TLO comes from the Supreme Commander scene where he built a name for himself as a solid player. He gained a following from the very beginning by playing a creative and innovative style, especially in Terran vs. Terran. He was amongst the first wave of foreigners to compete in the GSL and played some memorable matches, including a classic against Hyperdub. Since the GSL, the Little One has competed in nearly every major event from DreamHack to MLG, and has become a fan favorite and player to watch. TLO comes into Major League Gaming's Providence Finals 20th overall and the 5th ranked European. The Terran Pro has a lot to prove, but we all have immense faith in the Little One. At number 4, we've got an old guard from Brood War, Swedish Zerg star Hater Heypro Hussein. Having mastered the mechanics and mental toughness to compete at the highest level, Heypro has won 3 DreamHack tournaments playing both Zerg and Terran. While he hasn't shown us his A-game in SC2, his dedication and commitment cannot be denied. He had a solid run at the recent MLG Orlando event, earning enough points for the 13th spot overall and the 4th best European in the MLG Power Rankings. Going into the National Championships, Heypro has everything to prove, and it's events like this where an old star can shine again and begin an epic run. On to number 3, where we have another Swede in Jeffrey Show Brucey, who represents the mighty Terran. Show made a name for himself playing 2v2 Warcraft 3 matches and was signed to Team Dignitas for SC2. During the initial release, Show opted to play an interesting style with a low APM and a complete deduction of scouting from his strategy. Show has had a fair amount of success in StarCraft 2's release, taking the 2011 IESF World Championship, the Gathering Easter event, and the IEM Season 5 European Championship. He has competed in several MLG events, including a top 10 in Raleigh, where he gained Code A GSL status, beating Idra, Rain, and Naniwa to finish as the 2nd best foreigner. Coming in 3rd amongst the Europeans going to Nationals, Show should not be underestimated. He has the mind and skill set to win it all. The beloved Eurozerg player has been a force to be reckoned with since the Brood War days, when he was one of a small number of foreigners to play for a Korean StarCraft team. Rhett honed his mechanics to the point of unparalleled perfection, disciplining himself in the ways of macro and micro. He's used these and his other battle-tested abilities to win the Assembly Winter 2011, the European BattleNet Invitational, and the Hyper Crew. Rhett's consistent play and series wins at this year's MLG events has earned him the 7th overall spot in the Providence Power Rankings and the 2nd highest European going into Nationals. At number 1, we have our third Swede in the top 5 with Protoss master Johan Naniwa Lucchesi. A former Warcraft 3 pro, Naniwa is the best Protoss player from Europe and has proven time and time again he can compete and defeat the best players in the world. In 2011, he achieved Code A status in the GSL and took first place at the TL Open 9, the Gadget Show Live competition, the Black Dragon League, and MLG Dallas. At the Dallas event, Naniwa busted out of the open bracket like a caged lion to take first place with an impressive 24-0 record. On his way to the title, he took out Kiwikaki in an epic final, winning the crown 4-2. Naniwa's Korean training has undoubtedly improved his game, but the question going into Nationals is will he be able to capitalize on his hard work and achieve his goal of winning the championship? With his life finally settled in the Federal Witness Protection Program somewhere in Northern California, Nexy felt comfortable enough to send in a new first look. This week he pulls out all the stops for the highly anticipated Battlefield 3.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Nexy, and I'm sitting on the floor because I just moved to California and I don't own any furniture. Anyway, this week I'm playing a game. It's everyone's second favorite military shooter, and it goes by the name of Battlefield 3. Now, a lot of people are saying that this could be the Call of Duty killer. Well, I don't know about all that, but let me show you what I do know. Before we jump into a game, let's take a look at the kits. We're gonna customize our soldier. You got the assault class, the engineer, the support, and the recon. Alright folks, there are 3 standard game types in Battlefield 3. Conquest, Rush, and Team Deathmatch. Let's take a look at Rush. So you see the objective markers on my screen right there, A and B? Those are the bomb sites. I either have to defend or play offensively and arm the bomb. Once I knock out those 2 objectives, the map progresses, you move to a new part of the map and you get 2 new objectives. So here we go. I'm gonna lay down. Yeah! Eat my bullets. Got a kill. Very nice. Now this isn't really a game where you can just run out in the open and kill everybody. You gotta play a little strategic, a little patient if you will. Here's another enemy. He doesn't take any damage. I'm gonna chuck a nade at him. Oh. Alright, still trying to figure out these controls. What? Oh, what a bozo. Look at that rocket launcher on his back. I'm gonna send him a friend request later. Alright, there's the bomb site right there. I'm gonna defend that, okay? You look easy to defend. So I'll just lay right here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I see 2 bad guys. Chucking a grenade. Line up the shots. Pew pew! Pew 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 pew! Nice! I'm incredible. Alright, it's time to play a little Team Deathmatch. And I'm going to teach you a couple simple rules to win in Team Deathmatch every time. Rule number 1, pick the sniper. Rule number 2, find a cozy little spot and lay down. Step number 3, don't move. So you see somebody on your radar until somebody runs past you. Do this for about 30 minutes and you'll win every game. So here we go, I got my cozy little spot. I think this is a good spot to lay down. There we go. And now we wait. I'm just looking at my radar. Making sure nobody runs past me. Oh, there's a little blip on the radar. There's a guy standing still. I'm the best. Headshot. There's another guy. But here's the key, guys. You don't chase. If a guy gets away from you, you go back to your spot and you lay down. Oh, I see more blips on the radar. Let me see if I can do something with it. Oh, see? There you have it. You get too aggressive and you lose. Well, there's a little taste of Battlefield 3 for you. Is it the Call of Duty killer? Well, I just don't know. But if you like a game that takes a little more strategy, and a game where you can't just run out in the open and get a million kills, then Battlefield 3 is just for you. And I'll be honest, in the beginning of the game where you don't have any unlocks and no scopes or special abilities, well, it just sucks. But as soon as you start unlocking stuff, it becomes a lot of fun and you take a lot of pride in your character. I'm Nexy, and I'll see you next time.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Join us next time on MLG Weekly when we bring you the most in-depth coverage of the world of competitive gaming.